How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the video. It's me, Joshua Garza. Hope you're having a great day. It's a beautiful Wednesday afternoon right now. This video, my testimony, how I got where I am today by my faith, and how I was able to rid myself of all the distractions I had in my life about a couple years ago. So let's begin with that. Growing up, I've always had God in my life, church, the understanding a little bit, but I was so oblivious to it. I would go to church and I didn't know what was going on, and that continued all the way up to high school freshman year. I stopped going to church. I stopped practicing, my ways, and stopped believing almost. So all of high school, went into the army. Same thing. Had no God in my life. I knew about it, and like I said before, I always knew deep down, spiritually, I was missing something, but I was always physically strong and mentally, somewhat driven somewhat. So I always stay kind of, leveled out. And it wasn't until I had my surgery 2 years ago, 2 years ago, about 21 months ago, I started to realize more and more, I used to tell my friends, like, physically, I'm good, mentally, I'm okay, but spiritually, I always say that, like, I was nowhere spiritually awakened or aware of things. So I had my surgery, and that was the first time I ever experienced my life helplessness. So helpless in a physical way, because I was always physically strong no matter what, and that was the first time in my life where I was physically helpless. I remember sitting on the couch. I couldn't even get up just to walk, I needed my dad to take care of me, and that messed me up. That totally messed me up for those months. It humbled me in such a way that I'm so grateful now for it. But that was the first time where I was physically, and not only that, you throw a broken heart on top of that. So that was kind of the first time my heart has ever gotten broken, and I was so lost. I remember being in my dad's house at that time because he was about to retire, so he was working as much as he could, and I remember just being alone and just so helpless. So physically I was helpless, mentally and spiritually, it was all the trifecta. I was just so down. And it wasn't until my dad came home one day, and I don't know exactly how it happened, but he gave me a book by Matthew Kelly, a really well-known writer, really well-known, has written many books, but this specific one was How to Become Perfectly Yourself. And so I see this book. I remember just sitting on the couch like, all right, well, I have nothing else better to do. I can't go to the gym. I can't work out. I can't do nothing pretty much. And so I remember sitting on that couch reading this book, and wow, I saw so many things that I was doing wrong. So many things, countless amount of things. So that in itself was pretty instant for me, that I took initiative and began to change my life. I started with the small things, just to name a few. Certain entertainment I was watching. I used to idolize certain sports figures, the music I was listening to. So that's just to name a few. But the biggest thing, as you know, was the weed. I eventually, inch by inch. See, it's not so instant that you want to do it, but you'll get there once you make that decision to change your life. And so I remember just reading that book and just being so, this is what I gotta do. I gotta change my life, because I was so low. I was never so hurt in my life, physically, spiritually, mentally. And looking back at it now, it's kind of sad that it took that, it took all that for me to realize, I was doing it wrong. I was doing my life wrong. I was wasting my life in my eyes. And, some people get it earlier in life. Some people get it later in life. It's never too late. As you see now, it's never too late to change your life. We can all change. We all have some dark past, very dark. Some of the most darkest people changed their life and became saints. It's crazy how many stories are out there like that. And now, I just realized that there's just no going back. I just know too much to never go back. And I just know, by consistently doing this, giving it up to God, showing up every day, showing up in prayer every day. And the last thing was for me to give up the weed, and that was the biggest thing that had domain over me, and that was the biggest thing to me. Knowing that something had control over me like that, had certain, domain. No, I control myself. I am in control. All by the grace of God, I think I was able to do all of that. And I just know now, just gotta keep going forward. Sometimes we want growth like right away, or we want a breakthrough right away. But sometimes it's inch by inch by inch. Everything takes consistency, as you know. Consistency is such a big word in life. You can't just do it here and there. You gotta be consistent with it. So that is my testimony, guys. That was basically the lowest point of my life, was when I had my surgery. Because I was being physically helpless. I was never physically helpless ever in my life. And that really did it to me, especially the broken heart. Man, it really made me want to change my life, because I knew I had nothing else to turn to. I had nothing else to save me or anything but God himself. And just by changing my life, living the right way, a very right way is what I want to do. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That is my testimony on how I got where I am today. And I plan on never going back. I plan on just going forward and forward, inch by inch. Let's do it, baby. Much love as always. Tomorrow I'm going to be filming a day in a life video. So look for that. Much love. God bless.